Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your reading for the week of November 18th. This week, we are going to jump right in here. You have this No Place Like Home card and this Chaos and Conflict card. I feel like this is more giving me like frustration energy with these two cards here. It's more like I don't even necessarily think that it's bad frustration. I kind of feel this is like, just that frustration where you want to get ahead and you're not, and there are things that have been like holding you up, and that is more like the type of frustration that I get with those two cards. I don't even think that it is talking about chaos or conflict. I mean, it could be making you feel conflicted, or it could, this frustration could be making you feel like you're living in chaos, but I don't think this is like something like a conflict with a person. Some of you could definitely be dealing with that, or that could be a side effect to the frustration, right? If we're frustrated, sometimes we take it out on other people, and I'll say that. But the reading actually looks pretty good here, Taurus. I mean, really, you have good cards here. You show up almost in the middle with the Empress, which puts you in a position of power and strength. So let's get into it. But you start with the Magician, the Two of Wands, and the Strength card. Again, the Magician is like trying to reinvent yourself. It is interesting that you have Two of Wands and the Strength card. The Strength card is a card of personal development. She has done a lot of work on herself with this card. That lion represents her inner voice, her inner demons, her inner critic. And it's almost like, I feel in your first row, which could be your past position. Again, the rest of the reading looks really good. I mean, the reading does look good, just in general. So it's like you could be finally moving past the frustration that you've been feeling, Taurus. And again, like I said, this could be something that's changing. But the Magician, he wants to reinvent himself. He wants to change. He has this snake wrapped around his waist right here. It's the Ouroboros, and it just represents reinvention. And again, he is pointing directly to the Empress and to the Temperance card, which is patience. But the Empress is your card, and the Empress is kind of like hoping to have a glow up, or hoping to create abundance, which we have right here, right next to it. And I kind of feel in your first row, which could be the past for you, I kind of feel like maybe these changes have been very slow, or they just haven't been coming as quickly as you want. And these changes could be in any area of your life, of course. You have the Two of Wands. I mean, as always with you, Taurus, I think that, kind of just like looking at other points of view or other ways of doing things is going to be very successful for you. The Two of Wands is about getting out into the world. I always say that, he's looking at the world out here, but he's not looking at the world right here that he has in his hands. So he's only looking at the world from a very limited perspective. Like if he actually got out into the world, then he would make progress. The Two of Wands isn't really a bad card, but sometimes I think that the Two of Wands is more of an action that we have to take, or it's kind of like something that we have to do. And with the Two of Wands, we have to take the lead on any changes that we do want to make in our lives. And so for him, he just has to look at other perspectives and just, see how he can, see what solutions he can find. And sometimes I feel with the Two of Wands as well, it's about a collection of experiences. Like he, instead of thinking that, love has to work like this one way, it's like maybe he could mix a bunch of ideas together. Same thing in like business as well. It's like he might think that to make his business successful, he has to be on YouTube. But really, maybe he needs to be on like Twitter, and maybe he needs to have a newsletter and write a blog, right? So he needs to like mix different experiences together to find success. And those are only two examples. Like wherever you are frustrated, I would look and see like what can you mix together to create something different, that maybe different. Maybe you're mixing different perspectives together, and it's going to make you more successful. You have the Strength card again. I think you've done a lot of work. It gives me the feelings with the first two cards and then this one, that you have done a lot of work on yourself, and you're just saying to yourself like, okay, when are the results actually going to show up? When am I actually going to see these changes that I've been working towards for a very long period of time? And I don't know, Taurus. I don't know what the answer to that question is, so let's see what the cards say here. I don't think you're going to be waiting long. Again, we have really good cards for the rest of the reading. Even in the area of the good stuff, you have the Ten of Wands, and the Ten of Wands and the good stuff says you're coming to the end of a long journey. With the Magician, you have the Two of Wands. Again, it's probably like the one thing that's missing is just different perspectives. Like the Magician has all those tools in front of him, but instead of maybe using one tool, maybe he needs to use all those tools. These are all the ace versions of the suits in the tarot that are in front of him. So maybe he needs to use all his skills and mix them all together. And there's definitely something about that popping into my head. You cannot make this up. Like with the Two of Wands, you have the Magician. I have not had that happen in a long time, but there you go. I mean, whenever that happens, to me, that is like major confirmation for the message, right? With the Strength card, you have the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, this would be about accepting a new opportunity. I think a lot of people are doing this right now, where it's like they're taking all of their skills from life and putting it into like one masterpiece or whatever you want to call it. And, your masterpiece could be anything. It could be like a new business you start. It could be a new relationship you start. It could be you just improving yourself, right? And making yourself the masterpiece. But the Ace of Pentacles is like really one thing. And the Ace of Pentacles is something we nurture into existence. And then, you go to the Empress, the card of nurturing, and then you have the Page of Pentacles. He's looking at one pentacle. I kind of feel this is about you kind of like creating one thing that ends up being very successful, right? If you nurture it. Obviously, if you don't nurture it, then, tarot can't make anything happen for you. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this capybara. It says selectiveness, group bond, and sway. You have a skunk. It says conflict avoidance. We talked about conflict and discretion and lunar energy as well. Yeah, I would do whatever you can to stay away from conflict, especially right now. I mean, we have Mars going retrograde at the end of the year, and the Mars retrograde is definitely one of those things where I think that, avoiding conflict is really the name of the game. Mars retrograde can definitely create conflicts like in the home or in your life in general. And usually the best thing to do with Mars retrograde is to completely avoid it and to completely stay out of it. And so I would avoid any conflicts that you could be dealing with these two cards. You have the Four of Swords, the Empress, and the Seven of Pentacles. Again, retrograde heavy end of the year. So anything you can do to rest, relax, recover, heal is going to benefit you greatly. Again, whenever you have a bunch of retrogrades, it's always a good idea to, take little bits of like extra time for yourself. And the Four of Swords pretty much kind of says that. So I would do whatever you can to take extra time for yourself, especially with that Strength card. And also the Empress. The Empress is all about self-care. The Empress is your card. So you're showing up in a very strong position whenever you show up as yourself, puts you in a position of power and strength and really allows you to get what you want from the reading. But I do feel like you're coming up in a strong position. I definitely feel a lot of you are very focused on money at this time or improving your finances. I feel like you will have this. I mean, you have the Ten of Pentacles as well. I always say again, I think that the Ten of Pentacles is a great card, but it's something that we work on forever. It's not something that like just magically appears in your life unless you're getting an inheritance. But again, if you're getting an inheritance, you would already know about it. People always ask me like, oh, did like, am I related to some king that just died? I'm like, no, probably not. If you don't know that someone just died that you're getting an inheritance from, it's not an inheritance, right? And so I think for the most part, the Empress is talking about kind of like nurturing something. And again, we really have to nurture. We also have Uranus and Taurus. We've had Uranus and Taurus. Uranus and Taurus is not get rich quick. Uranus and Taurus is like, yeah, sure. If you take care of something and do the research, Page of Pentacles, then something will, could potentially lead to long-term wealth, but it's not fast, right? And so this is about really nurturing wealth in your life. And that could be any type of abundance. You have the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles is a change in direction. He is looking at those 7 pentacles that he has grown, and he's saying, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is it worth it for me to keep growing these pentacles? Or is there something different or better that I could grow, is the question that he's asking. And so a lot of them, I think a lot of you, I almost said a lot of them Tauruses, I think that there are things that you could be doing that could lead to a better bang for your buck. I think a lot of it has to do with focus. And, whenever we have retrogrades, I think we also need to focus. So, it kind of makes sense to me. He's gathered all these skills, and this reading is all about, using all of your skills all together. And that's what I would be doing with this Seven of Pentacles energy for sure. Let's see. With the Four of Swords here, you have the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is a card of wish fulfillment or just fulfillment in general coming in for you. So I think a lot of you could be finding fulfillment. With the Four of Swords, the Nine of Cups is really about getting into alignment with fulfillment. So you have to be fulfilled before you can be fulfilled, right? And With the Four of Swords, I mean, taking time to align with the energies of what you want and desire would be a really good idea. And really kind of creating that environment. I always look at nines, especially the Nine of Pentacles, as a card of your environment. You don't have the Nine of Pentacles here, I'm just saying. So again, they're cards of your environment. Like years ago, I stopped listening to a lot of music and I stopped watching things that made me feel a certain way, like on TV, like the news and things like that. And I've really been working on, for like over 4 years now on curating my environment. And it's changed my life by filling my head with good stuff, not bad stuff. And, that's part of those two cards. With the Empress, you have the Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups can be a knight in shining armor. There is a little bit of love here going this way. And you also have the Four of Wands. Even the Ten of Pentacles is just a really good love card. So if you want love, I feel like it's here. I don't really see this as a love reading. Like most of your readings, Taurus, that, most of your readings for the past couple of years have really been all about you. Which makes sense because with that Strength card, you probably have been doing a lot of work on yourself. With this Seven of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Swords. Yeah, it's like you have a good idea is what I feel like the Queen of Swords is saying. Like if you have a plan for especially related to money, I would follow that plan. The Queen of Swords says you are clear. So, I think you are clear on what you need to do. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this card that says you are good enough. This comes up for you all the time, like imposter syndrome. Taurus comes up a lot in your readings. You always get a lot of cards of imposter syndrome. And I don't think this is one of them. I'm just saying, I feel like this is saying you are good enough. You don't need to feel like you can't do something. You have this card that says show the world the real you. All three earth signs get these cards of needing to show the world who they are or needing to put their skills on display. And, the Magician and the Strength card both kind of represent putting your skills on display. The Magician, I look at, he's card number 1, and sometimes I feel like he represents needing to get started. And then the Strength card, she's putting her strength on display. Like, people are seeing her putting her hands in that lion's mouth. And so people are seeing her as being very strong. And I feel like this is definitely saying, show the world the real you. Put your strength on display. You have the Page of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, and the Temperance card. Page of Pentacles could be like a new person for some of you, but I really feel that this is you looking at an opportunity. That Ace of Pentacles, he is looking at one pentacle just like the Ace of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles is quite simple. He is a card of studiousness. He is a card of learning. And so I think if you learn, educate yourself on any opportunity that you're getting at this time. And I feel like you might find that any opportunities that are coming in for you could be something that, allows you to reinvent yourself, like the Magician. And I also think that it's going to allow you to combine all the skills that you have developed over the years into something, bigger. And we see that here with the Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles is everything you want and desire in your life. The Ten of Pentacles forms the tree of life. So I feel for a lot of you that you could be attracting a much bigger opportunity or better opportunities at this time. And that's what I would do with the Ten of Pentacles is focus on those bigger opportunities. Ten of Pentacles is about really kind of manifesting this on earth. It is also a card of education, which, usually for doing something new, we have to learn a lot about it. So I would learn as much as you can, but definitely working on a solid foundation for sure. You have this Temperance card. Temperance is a card of patience, and Temperance is also about alchemy, trying to turn your situation around. I do feel like you are kind of creating a turnaround. You even end with the Ten of Swords, but the Ten of Swords is coming up in the good stuff. And so in the good stuff, the Ten of Swords kind of represents a blessing in disguise, and you definitely could be creating a blessing in disguise. With the Page of Pentacles, you have the King of Pentacles, which is also you showing up here. So again, I think that this reading is all about you, of course, like most of your readings are. And I feel like the King of Pentacles also is a card of your skills. He has these grapes all over his cloak, and those grapes in the tarot represent something that's difficult to grow, but he can do it well. So it kind of says that you have these skills that might be hard for other people, but you can do very easily. So I think this reading is all about your skills and using your skills as well. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Nine of Wands. Yes, do not give up on your big vision. It's all the fixed signs have been getting these messages of really needing to not give up. So it's definitely a fixed sign type of energy. And I think you need to see this vision through to the end. The Ten of Pentacles could be your story, or it could be a vision or something that you are trying to manifest or create in your life. And I really feel this is saying you need to maintain your vision. With the Temperance card, you have the Strength card again. So, both cards are cards of patience. These repeating cards again, really should be giving you confidence as well, because repeating cards are kind of like confirmation for your path or your journey. And I feel like you are receiving a lot of confirmation here. You have this soul healing card. This is coming up in the area of the good stuff, and you have this alchemy and creation card. The temperance card is a card of alchemy and turning one thing into another. So only you can, heal your soul and turn your situation around, which is what I feel a lot of you Tauruses are doing. It's like you're improving your situation. You have the Ten of Wands, Four of Wands, Ten of Swords. The Ten of Wands is about carrying a heavy burden, and he's carrying this burden. He's about to reach his home in the background here. But again, I kind of feel like this is saying, in the good stuff, that you're about to reach the finish line. You're about to end a long journey that you've been on for a very long period of time. And again, I look at the Ten of Wands as a good card anyway, because he planted those wands. This is a harvest that he wanted. And also, he's about to reach his home. So, really, how is it a bad card? You have the Four of Wands. Four of Wands is a card of marriage. Like I said, if you do want love, there's definitely love here. And, there could be a good connection. You might already, if you're already in a connection, this could be a person that you're going to marry in the future. Four of Wands is also a card of freedom. I think you are trying to set yourself free from burdens. But I think I think that Ten of Wands is kind of like saying your burdens are paying off as well. It's like, sometimes we have these burdens, we have these challenges or responsibilities that weigh us down, but at the same time, they might teach us something that really sets us free in the future. And I kind of feel that, maybe not this second, right? But over the next couple of years, I think you're really going to see how the challenges that you've been through have all been worth it. That they're really kind of going to be paying off in the sense that you will be more free. You have the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords says something from the past is dead, done, over with. Ten of Swords is like a blessing in disguise as well in the area of the good stuff. So I feel a lot of you could be attracting a blessing, or you could be creating blessings with the Ten of Swords. Or again, you could just be ending a difficult cycle and receiving blessings from that difficult cycle. With the Ten of Wands, you have the Nine of Swords, definitely ending a cycle. The Nine of Swords I consider to be the worst card in the tarot. So I don't even think it's the Tower. I think it's the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords, like having a nightmare, waking up, being stuck in a nightmare, but doing nothing about it. So, that's why it's like the worst card in the tarot. But it's showing up in the good stuff. And in the good stuff, the Nine of Swords would represent changing a cycle or transforming a cycle. So, like I said, I think you're just changing a cycle. With the Four of Wands, you have the Fool. The Fool is about taking a leap of faith in a new direction. I feel a lot of you could be taking a leap of faith towards something that's like bigger and better in your life. And I also feel I kind of feel like you're taking more risks, but these are like good risks. We're talking about, nothing that will really cause a problem, but the type of risk where you're putting yourself out there. Again, you have that card that says show the world the real you. So the risks you could be taking could be the risk of putting yourself in the spotlight. And I think everybody should do that right now. On the 19th, we have Pluto going into Aquarius. I think one of the more beneficial things we can do during Pluto and Aquarius for the next 19-something years is put ourselves in the spotlight. But we should be doing it in the sense that we should be becoming an inspiration to other people. And, again, as long as you do that, you will be getting the benefits of the energy. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Four Swords. Again, a lot of repeating cards. So Four Swords down, and we have the Four Swords here. Four Swords definitely says you need a break. Maybe some of you need to go on vacation, or maybe you need to take more time for yourself, or maybe you need to heal yourself. Whatever it is, I would just take the time. You have this Teardrops card. It says great personal sorrow. I think this is more that frustration. So again, I think maybe some of you do feel like you want to cry because of the like that feeling of being so close, but like having things hold you up, and it's like that type of frustration that I feel. The good news is like, again, according to this reading, you're going to be moving past that energy. You have the Staff card. It says you will be taken care of in difficult times. We're entering into interesting times for sure. We have been. But I think that, really we're in a time of chaos until 2033. So, and how crazy is this? You have this card that says chaos and conflict. It's card number 33. So, I definitely feel we still have some time. I don't think things are necessarily going to be bad. I just think, things are going to be chaotic, right? So, it's definitely something to think about. You have this Nest card. It says an emotionally secure, loving family is important for you. Yeah, I think a lot of you, Ten of Pentacles is a great card for family. So if you need help or assistance or guidance, I think family could be a great option for you with the Ten of Pentacles energy. I think it could be a great form of support for you as well, but definitely good energy. I'm going to pull these two cards together. You have this Trouble and Accusations card, and this bat. It says take care, enemies are working against you. And I'm going to pull an extra card as well. Again, this is very Mars retrograde. Like I always say, I think the best thing to do during Mars retrograde is not try to defend yourself. If someone is coming at you, or if there's gossip, avoid it. If there's challenges, avoid it as much as you possibly can. But also, if someone's coming at you and you try to defend yourself, you just look guilty. If you do nothing, you look not guilty. So, I always tell people, like, this is very common energy for Mars retrograde, which is going retrograde at the end of the year, and we're getting very close. So, I would start doing this right now. I wouldn't wait. And, again, we just have to ignore it. Ignore it. You have this funnel card that says period of frustration, lessons to be learned. I mean, literally what I said. You cannot make that up. So I literally said that you are taking the lessons you've learned and using them to your benefit. So, I think you're coming out of frustration, really, and kind of moving forward. But really good reading, Taurus. I like where it's headed. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.